Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Avi Bardwaj and I'm back with lecture series on science. Today I am going to talk about COP26. This was United Nations Climate Change Conference which was held in Glasgow, Scotland from October 31st to November 13th. To reduce greenhouse gases, there was about 197 countries who reached on a consensus. But in my view, actually to make this consensus work, we have to look at all the factors which are causing the climate change. So one of the major factors we know, automobiles and industry, which pumps significant amount of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, causing the climate change. But there is another very important factor, which is animal farming. I think we have been ignoring this factor. So to put a perspective on this, about 18% of the greenhouse gases actually comes from animal farming, and I'll give you numbers shortly. And in comparison to that, only 14% actually comes from automobiles like cars and trucks and all that stuff. There was a recent study actually done in Europe, and they found out that animal farming actually leads to pumping of about 704 metric tons of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, and in comparison cars and trucks are pumping about 656 metric tons. So in comparison, the animal farming is actually causing much more harm than the autos. So how do we address this problem? Because animal farming is related to meat. About 70% of world's agriculture land is used for growing grains, which is then used by the animal stock so that we could eat meat. Also consider this, about 8 kilograms of grains which is consumed by an animal would lead to only 1 kilogram of meat. So major resources of earth are being utilized by animal farming. Similarly, about 30% of the fresh water is used by animal farming. Not only this, our meat eaters are increasing day by day, and there was a survey done which said that in 2050 about 76% of the world's population would be meat eater, which means that we have to now grow more and more food to feed much bigger animal farming. And what does that lead to? It leads to deforestation. So it is actually creating a very negative impact on our environment, and no one seems to be addressing this issue as they are addressing other issues. For example, we are talking about converting and transitioning our auto industry into electric cars, and that's a good step in right direction. But I think what we are missing here is the major cause of climate change is not only the auto or trucks or cars. It is the animal farming, and I think we are not addressing that. Now how can we address it? The main part is that we have to start guiding and educating people that animal diet is really not a healthy diet. It leads to many cardiovascular diseases. It leads to diseases like heart problems, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. Many of the problems which humans are facing today are because of the animal diet. And if we change our diet to plant-based diet, it is much more healthier diet. And of course there are critics who would say that we need vitamin B12, we need amino acid which comes from animal diet. But all this can be taken separately. You do not have to kill animals to do that. I think that is very important, that we try to convince people to convert slowly, if not right away, then slowly, more and more towards vegetarian diet. We also have to look at the ancient world. How did we survive? Especially if you look at an example in India, we had organic farming which was done locally. Most of the population was vegetarian right from the beginning. Right now, even if you go to India, most of the population is vegetarian, and I think we have to look at that model where we were doing local organic farming and we were sustaining that way as a vegetarian, doing our agriculture locally by using organic farming. I think that is what is the need of the hour, and everyone has to look at holistically. Unless and until we address animal farming, we wouldn't be able to address climate change completely. And to make sure that we could bring Earth's carbon dioxide level to lower level, we have to convert our population to vegetarian diet. And you look at the impact, for example, of animal farming. Most of the methane which is produced by the animals, and these cattle we grow in the farms. And what happens is that methane is 34 times more potent than carbon dioxide. So no matter what you do on the cars and trucks and convert them into electric and have this reduce the carbon dioxide level into the atmosphere, but the major cause will still stay the same if we do not address the animal farming, because methane which is produced by animals will keep causing the climate to change. And as I said, it is 34% more potent than carbon dioxide itself. Not only this, the nitrous oxide also comes from animal farming. So there are many greenhouse gases, including carbon dioxide, methane and nitrous oxide, which comes from this industry. And I think that is where we have to focus, because if we do not address this, then we wouldn't be able to solve the climate change problem in this world. Thank you for watching.